So, you know me by now. I'm a little bit of a thinker, overthinker, whatever the case may be. I had just realized, I'm like, oh, damn, it's Black History Month. Not that it's never not a day to celebrate the past, but I just realized, oh, damn. Why did they release the Epstein files in this month? Why they couldn't pick December to do it? Everybody know Christmas fake anyway. Man, just questions from a person sitting in the back of the class. I don't get it. Like, you had all these other months to do it. You could have did it during. What's another month that don't damn near matter? Look, let me stop. That don't matter. Look, that's probably what they thought. It was like, let's do it in February. Yeah. It's crazy. We couldn't get a documentary, busting, or nothing. Anyway, I'm coming with an excerpt from Gordon Parks. What we got? A choice of weapons. You know, living in Chicago, everybody got their choice of weapons. Whether they making music, art. You know, people think the music is art too. Sometimes when they're not doing nothing for real. But it is what it is. I was finna speak on Ben Amin, but I feel like his rhetoric might be a little too strong. And I really don't understand it all the way yet. I like his movement of just getting to know more about himself and whatever he found, and he went with it. And he supposedly found his peace. I thought that was cool. But anyway, we ended up sticking with Gordon Parks, and we're going with an excerpt from page 2. Our parents have filled us with love and a staunch Methodist religion. Methodist? Our parents have filled us with love and a staunch Methodist religion. We were poor. Though I did not know it at the time, the rich soil surrounding our clapboard house had yielded the food for the family, and the love of this family had eased the burden of being Black. But there were segregated schools and warnings to avoid white neighborhoods after dark. I always had to sit in the peanut gallery, the Negro section at the movies. We weren't allowed to drink a soda in the drugstore in town. I was stoned and beaten and called nigger, black boy, darky, shine. These indignities came so often I began to accept them as normal. Yet I always fought back. Now I consider myself lucky to be alive. 3 of my close friends had already died of senseless brutality, and I was lucky that I hadn't killed someone myself. Until the very day that I left Fort Scott on the train for the North, there had been a fair chance of being shot or perhaps beaten to death. I could easily have been the victim of mistaken identity of a sudden act of terror by hate-filled white men, or for that matter, I could have been murdered by some violent member of my own race. There have been a lot of killings in the border states of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri, more than I care to remember. I was 9 years old when the Tulsa riots took place in 1921. Whites had invaded the Negro neighborhood, which turned out to be an armed camp. Many white Tulsans were killed, and rumors had it that the fight would spread into Kansas and beyond. About this time, a grown cousin of mine decided to go south to work in a mill. My mother, knowing his hot temper, pleaded him not to go, but he caught a freight going south. Months passed and we had no word of him. Then one day his name flashed across the nation as one of the most wanted men in the country. He had killed a white mill hand who spat in his face and called him nigger. He killed another man while fleeing the scene and shot another on the viaduct between Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas. I asked Mama questions she couldn't possibly answer. Would they catch him? Would he be lynched? Where did she think he was hiding? How long did she think he could hold out? She knew what all of us knew, that he would come back to our house if it was possible. He came one night. It was storming, and I lay in the dark of my room listening to the rain pound the roof. Suddenly, the window next to my bed slid up, and my cousin, wet and cautious, scrambled through the opening. I started to yell as he landed on my bed, but he quickly covered my mouth with his hand. whisper his name and caution me into silence. Shoot, just that little piece right there is interesting. I'm like, man, I wonder how many people got stories similar to that. Not just the violence, but like, I know my great-grandmother came from Mississippi to Chicago for work. And he went back and forth for a few times till he got it right. Not all of my great uncles and great aunties was born in Chicago. Some was born in Mississippi. Put a little fat on your brain. That right there, damn near traumatized. And I felt like I just lost a couple friends just now. Could you imagine? This young man grew up in the early 1900s too, and the same stories is going on today.